Get Warrior Tough, Mental Training 101 with Andrew Wittman and Dutch Coleman. And now back to Andrew and Dutch.
All right, back in the saddle. Dutch and Andrew and Dutch on the Get Warrior Tough radio show, the most monumental hour in media anywhere. You can catch Dutch on the Twitters, right, at the Dutch Coleman. I'm at Warrior Tough PhD. The website, of course, is getwarriortough.com. Before the break, Dutch, we're talking about neural coupling and how that rolls into the emotional manipulator. And that's the hard science behind it, is this neural coupling. And it is just mind-blowing if you're unaware.
It's even that's an understatement. When you think that's actually happening, there's a lot of things going on like that we will reveal to you, man, things that'll be, we always use words like transformational, because when you get access to this information, and as we always say, you're privy to how the human machine works, man, you're becoming more and more powerful by the second.
By the second.
And this is the type of stuff we're giving you.
It really is. I mean, it's that power that you could point, and again, we actually start this at the beginning of our CEO of You stuff when we talk about the brain takes in 11 million bits of information per second, 126 bits goes to the conscious mind for action. It is filtered by, your thoughts, your attitudes, your feelings, your beliefs. And then we also talk about this, that the human brain has to do what, Dutch?
It has to answer a question.
Has to answer a question. So when you ask a question, I'm literally making your brain fire off and go down a track just by asking any question. I don't have to tell you anything, but I can point your brain in any direction. Did you know, Dutch? Here's a question. Did you know I was thinking about buying a speedboat? Do you know anything about speedboats? See, now if you're right, so you immediately start thinking, you start searching, do I really know anything about speedboats? And when I talked about speedboat, you had a picture of a boat in your mind. Now, I know yours was like the little tug that could, but not like a speedboat. It was like a little toot. What was that tug? What was the tug? There's a kid's show with the tug, Thomas the Tug. No, it's Thomas and that was the train. All right, I'm mixing
there's a tugboat, but the thing that I laugh about when you say that, and this is why people need to get to getwarriortough.com and check out our CEO of You and our People Whisperer, because when you talked about the speedboat, that just takes me back to the fun we have in our sessions where and people that have been there, they understand. So
yeah, if you've been there,
you got to go.
Yeah.
You got to get it at getwarriortough.com. Check out our information, man. See what we can do for you, how we can help you, and I guarantee you'll enjoy it. And when Andrew brings up the speedboat, you'll be laughing to yourself just like me. So
you're like, I know
just
what
just a little commercial.
Yeah,
just a little side commercial, because that's what I was thinking about.
Yeah, I ain't mad about you for that. I might even set that up with the speedboat. See, I got you going on the speedboat. So, but this is how the brain works. And there's always a leader, and then there's drones. There's leaders, and then there's drones, which is people that follow, right? So, I choose as CEO of me. I'm CEO of me. I will always be in the leader position unless it's calculated for me to be the follower. Like there are times when I go to you for advice and want your take on something, I abdicate my position as the leader and I become the Dutch drone. But that's calculated. And you do the same thing with me because we know how the machine works. But we do that on purpose, and we know who we're doing it with and to and why. Does that make sense?
Absolutely.
Okay, so so when you don't know, this is what the manipulator does. I'm not saying people whisper, because we're talking about the con man. This is what the con man does, is they take the leadership position, they force themselves into the leadership position, and they do subtle things that make you their drone, even outside your permission, which is what Facebook did with that the Cornell and University of California. They made us, those 700,000 people, their drones without their permission.
Mm-hmm. I was going to say, People Whisperer, there's like almost like a protection clause that's built in,
right?
That these comment don't have, and that's where you find yourselves in trouble.
Exactly, and we were very, very conscientious. We're deliberate, and we're intentional about, right, giving you these superpowers that you got to do the work on the front end. And I got to tell you, nobody who ever wants to do CEO of You, they don't want to work on themselves. They just want to learn how to get people to do whatever they want.
They want to jump to the 36th chamber.
They do. Am I lying about that? I'm not lying, not even a little bit. All right, so let's go over some of this stuff. that Travis Bradbury says are some red flags for us to look for. Now, the very first thing, understand what I just told you about neural coupling. The first thing is that a manipulator will always have you questioning what actually happened. Like, you'd be like if they hit you in the hand with a hammer, you'd be like, dude, why'd you hit me in the hand with a hammer? What are they going to say, Dutch? It's going to be a plethora of things like, oh, it was an accident, and they'll keep talking, and next thing you know, you're the one that hit yourself with the hammer. They'll swear it wasn't them.
Did I hit you with a hammer?
I don't see. Man, I don't remember. And this is what they do, is that they'll actually get you to question what happened. Now, if you understand, and again, this is neuroscience, Dutch, that when our memories are actually a reconstruct, not a recall. Whenever something happens, it's recorded in your brain, in your memory. When you bring that memory back up to your consciousness and actually go over it again, it's not like playing a VHS or a DVD or a streaming movie clip. You actually rebuild the memory from scratch every single time. It's a reconstruct. You're building the scene again from scratch. Which is why this is why eyewitnesses, when they swear to tell the truth, they're not lying, but it's not reliable, and it's not based on facts because it's a reconstruct, and every time they come back to it, it's another reconstruct. That's why, what's the old fisherman story where it started out, I caught a fish this big, and it was like 6 inches, and then it was like a foot, and then it was like 3 feet. And then 10 years from now, the story is like, I caught, Moby Dick. And This is what the emotional manipulator does is, man, they will get you questioning what actually happened, and they will keep working on that reconstruct until they reconstruct the memory and get you believing or at least doubting what you thought happened. This is why in law enforcement we separate witnesses, because I don't want people talking, and I don't want one person manipulating another person's reconstruct.
Because like you said, after years and years of it, you will begin to believe. And then the reconstructs are change at certain points.
Yeah.
But over the years, certain points will remain the same. So when you get to a certain point, certain aspects of the story is going to change. Other one's going to solidify, and it's going to continue that till 20 years later. You're not going to be able to separate what was real and what was fake, and that's what happens, and that's where you don't want to be. So you want to be in control. You want to have knowledge of this. And again, this is one of the superpowers that we're giving you.
Absolutely, and because I know that, I'm aware that even my own memories are reconstruct. So I will not tell you. I will say that it is a truth. I'm not lying. It is my truth. But I always preface it and say this is my truth. And if there are other facts that are clearly, and this happens in memories all the time, where things mush together over the years. Like I told you that. Go ahead.
I was going to say the other thing that in Elite Warrior, think about what we're doing and how we do things. Instead of trying to go from memory, we take research and facts, documented information, and supply it to the people, right?
Yeah.
So we don't have to go back and reconstruct what we thought we saw, what we thought we heard.
Right.
We use fact, but a lot of people that even in the industry we're in, they don't do that.
Oh.
It's a lot of anecdotal things,
yeah.
and there's a space for anecdotal things, but it has to be. The bulk of what you do has to be based in fact, in science and research, tangible things that people can go back and find at any moment, not things that people have to recall from memory.
Right. I mean, if you want to be effective, right? And if you notice about con men, they keep all these plates spinning because they're they have a system of how. I'll say it like this. They say like liars always get caught because they can't remember what they said.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, well, con men, what they do, they don't care about that. They know that everybody's memory is a reconstruct. So what they're going to do is get you to doubt what you think that I said.
Mm-hmm. They're depending exactly on what they know. What they know to be true is that they don't remember and you don't remember.
Right, and they know that they can manipulate your memory. It'll be a reconstruct. So they don't have to remember all their lies. All they have to do is get you to doubt that you remembered correctly. That's the very first thing that you should understand about a manipulator, an emotional manipulator, not a people whisperer, because this is someone who's using superpowers for bad. They be like, and they will get you questioning. Listen, I got to tell you, this is what politicians do, man. They talk in truth. They'll be act like, No, that didn't. What are you talking about? That I did not have. It depends on what the word is, and all. And I mean, on and on. Right? It could be anything.
Right.
It could be. No, we didn't. Stand there and look at the Pakistanis and tell them we didn't invade their airspace when we killed bin Laden. Dude, we got it on radar. I don't know what you're talking about. This is what we do. Okay, this is so. Yeah. All right. Now, number 2. This is huge. Now, my wife asked us to do an entire show on this. Is that they are not congruent. That their actions and their words do not line up. It's not congruent. It's off. Now, I know I just hit like 99% of the audience.
And if I was going to say if you can't relate to this, then I don't know what to tell you. I mean, you have had to have seen this, and you have got to be able to relate to this number 2.
Yeah, and if it wasn't you, it was your mom and dad, because they used to say, "Do what I say, not what I." Do
not what I do. Yeah, so this is something. I mean, I like that. This is a candidate for an entire show, man. It is. It's amazing the things that are going through my mind just based on that one sentence that we can touch on. So yeah, that's good stuff.
Yeah, my wife's been asking us for a couple of weeks to do this. She's like, I wish you and Dutch would talk about congruency and how people are incongruent and how it. And I got to tell you, this is the majority of folks out there. So. And again, I know there's nobody in our audience, so we could talk openly about them and no one will get offended. But if you are, let me just say it this way. This is the H word. You're a hypocrite, because that's what a hypocrite is that you say one thing and you do another. You present one way, but in reality, you're something else. And this is the secret life, the private life, and the public life. And whatever you do in secret, that's your thoughts, how you think your thoughts, and what you say inside here. Your self-talk is your secret life. Your private life is what goes on behind closed doors, but then your public life is what you present. That's your reputation. Character is your secret life. What comes done in secret will eventually come out and be public, and then eventually the incongruency will have a spotlight shown on it, Dutch.
And again, this is not something, and I know we're right up on the break. We just got a few more seconds. I want to touch on what separates the people that know from the people that don't know.
All right, so we're going to hit that up when we get back from break. You listen to the Get Warrior Tough radio show with Dutch and Andrew, and we'll be right back.